There comes a moment in every person's life when something changes forever. It's the moment you realize no one is coming to rescue you anymore. Maybe it happens on your first day at work. Maybe it's the day someone depends on you for the first time. Or maybe it arrives when you face a decision so heavy that asking for help is no longer an option. One day you are the one being protected. The next, people expect you to become the protector. That moment has existed for as long as humans have existed. But 300,000 years ago, it didn't happen in an office, a classroom, or a hospital. It happened at dawn. The air was cold. The grass was wet beneath your feet. In your hands rested a spear that felt far too heavy for your small body. Around you, your entire tribe stood in silence. No one smiled. No one encouraged you. They simply watched. You are 8 years old. Nobody counts birthdays, but everyone knows today is different. For the first time in your life, the adults place a spear into your hands. The wooden shaft is taller than you are. Your palms begin to sweat almost immediately. You look from face to face, searching for an explanation. None comes. Because none is needed. Every adult is asking the same silent question. Are you still a child? You've watched this happen before. Other children left camp carrying a spear for the first time. Some returned standing a little straighter. They were invited closer to the fire. The adults spoke to them differently. Others came back looking exactly the same. But something inside them had changed forever. Today it's your turn. And there is no path that leads back to camp. Most people imagine prehistoric parents as cruel, throwing children into danger without a second thought. But archaeology tells a very different story. Ancient families cared deeply for their children. They treated broken bones, carried injured children across long distances, and buried young lives with objects that showed love and grief. They protected their children whenever they could. Which makes one question impossible to ignore. Why would parents who loved their children hand an 8-year-old a spear and lead them toward a hunt? Because the first hunt was never really about food. A child that young wasn't a skilled hunter. They weren't fast enough, strong enough, or experienced enough to make much difference. If survival depended only on calories, sending a child into the hunt made little sense. The hunt served another purpose. It marked the moment a child stopped being someone who only consumed resources and became someone who could contribute to the survival of the group. The spear wasn't simply a weapon. It was a doorway into adulthood. The adults didn't send you after the largest animal. They chose one you could realistically face. They tracked it. They cornered it. They exhausted it. They did almost all the dangerous work themselves. Then just before the end they stepped aside. The final decision belonged to you. Not because they needed another hunter that day. Because they needed to know who you were becoming. Standing before the frightened animal, your heart pounds so hard you can hear it. The animal is breathing. Looking directly at you. Every instinct in your body tells you to run. And that's when you realize, the real test isn't about hunting. It's about mastering fear. Can you do something difficult because it's necessary? Or will fear decide for you? Back at camp, your mother watches you disappear into the distance. She remembers every fever she stayed awake through. Every hungry season she made sure you survived. Every night she held you close when danger surrounded the camp. Now she lets you walk away. Not because she loves you less. Because she understands something painful. A child who is never challenged can never become someone capable of protecting others. Sometimes love prepares you instead of protecting you. There were 2 ways to fail that day. The first was obvious. You froze. You couldn't bring yourself to act. But there was another failure. One far more dangerous. If a child enjoyed killing, if they struck again and again long after the animal was dead, that frightened the tribe just as much. A person with no compassion could become a danger to everyone. The tribe wasn't searching for fearless children. They were searching for people who could feel fear, feel compassion, and still do what had to be done. Strength without humanity was dangerous. Humanity without courage was useless. The goal was both. That night, the meat was shared around the fire. For your entire life, others had fed you. Tonight, for the first time, you helped feed them. It wasn't just about food. It was about belonging. For the first time, you weren't simply surviving because of the tribe. The tribe survived in part because of you. That feeling changes people. It's why humans still find meaning in contributing to something bigger than themselves. The next morning, no ceremony was needed. No one announced your new place. But everything felt different. The younger children watched you the same way you once watched the older hunters. You had crossed an invisible line. Without anyone saying a word, you had become part of something larger. Thousands of generations have passed since those mornings on the open plains. Most of us will never hold a spear. But life still places impossible moments in front of us. The first day you're responsible for a family. The first time someone depends on your leadership. The moment you choose responsibility over comfort. Every one of those moments asks the same ancient question. Will you stay the person waiting for someone else to carry the weight? Or will you become the one others can rely on? That question is older than civilization. Older than farming. Older than written history. The child standing in wet grass with a spear too heavy for their hands isn't just a story from the distant past. It's a reflection of every moment life asks you to grow beyond who you were yesterday. Because becoming an adult has never been about age. It's about the moment you decide to carry the weight. Even when you're afraid.